What's up everyone, David Falla here. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another video. This is how my client looked before the haircut, and we're going to go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to wet the top. This is going to be kind of like a comb over on top, crop top, comb over. It's going to be a very square haircut, and then the sides we're going to be doing a part, and that's going to separate the fade. So it's going to be like a two-tone fade. It's going to be pretty cool. So first thing, we're going to wet the top, and then we're going to create a mohawk section or a profile section right in the center, and that is going to allow us to create our guide and create a shape that we want for the top. And then all we got to do is follow that guide. So we're going to create this guide. How you can see, I'm pulling over directing the front, or pulling the front up, just to give it more length in the front. So now that we have a section, we're going to use horizontal sections using our guide in the middle to cut the top, and we're going to create a very straight square haircut on top. This means that we're going to pull all the hair up, and then we're going to create kind of like a straight line following that guide in the center. Okay, now that we cut the top, we're going to create our design, or the two parts that we're creating for this haircut. The reason for the parts are there are two reasons. One, because it looks super cool, and two, because it's going to separate the fade, create a two-tone fade, which I think it looks super dope, especially for those looking for a modern look. This is actually something that I really enjoy the way it looks, and obviously I enjoy doing as well. So the first part, we're doing it using our wall detailer, and one recommendation I have for you is to try to make the lines very thin at the beginning. If you need to make them thicker, you can always make them thicker using your razor, but you do not want to create super thick lines with the trimmer, because then what happens if you don't like them, they're too thick, and then now nothing you can do. Especially once you use the razor, you might make them even thicker, so it might just be a mess. So start thin, and if you need to make them thicker, you can always make them thicker. So we're going to use a number 3 with the lever open. In this case, I'm using my detachable clipper with the number 3, and the reason is because I actually enjoy using detachables. I actually cut with detachables at the shop every day. I don't use them for YouTube because I know a lot of you guys don't have detachable clippers or don't like them, so I don't want to confuse anybody. That's why I use the plastic guards, but detachables are great, and that's what I use every day. So in this case, the number 3 is going to connect with the scissor work that I did on top. So now we're going to grab our wall seniors, close our lever, and we're going to create a skin line. My recommendation, start creating your skin line using the machine with the lever closed. The reason is because when you use your trimmer, you are going to use your trimmer to also remove this line, making it a lot harder. So in this case, if you do use your machine with a lever closed, that's the same machine you're going to use to remove that line, making it a lot easier. Okay, so now I'm using my detailers or my trimmer, and I'm kind of removing all the bulk from the bottom, leaving a little bit of space between this step and the previous, which was the machine with the lever closed. So now we're going to be using electric shaver, and in this case I'm going to stay with this step underneath the previous. So that means that we're going to have 3 steps, right? We're going to have the wall seniors closed, the trimmer, and the electric shaver, always leaving a little bit of space between each step. Okay, so now you're going to use your lever open to create another guide, and this is going to be about a finger width or about half an inch. And once you have that created, you're going to start closing that lever little by little to start blending that guide. And this is how you create a fade. You create a guide open, and then little by little you start closing that lever until that guide is gone. We're going to continue our blending process using now a number 1, and you're going to do the number 1 lever open all the way to the part that you created. Then you're going to start closing that lever little by little until it's fully closed. Once you see that it's not cutting anything else and you still have a little line, then you can use your half guard or your 0.5 guard. This is going to help you remove any imperfections that you see on the fade. Just remember that you don't always have to close the lever fully. You can just start open, then close it little by little. If you see that you need to close it more, you can always close it more. But sometimes what happens is that if you were very loose with the movements of your clipper when you were making those guides, sometimes you don't have to close the lever all the way. So after you are done blow drying the hair, kind of styling the way you want the hair to go, you're going to start shaving whatever detail you need to do on the haircut. In this case, I need to shape up the beard, and also I need to shave the design that I created just to make it a lot more sharper and all that stuff. In my shop, we usually use a hot towel shave for everything. Every time we're gonna use any type of razor work, and also we use any shaving product that we need to make the shave very smooth. So in this case, I apply shaving gel on the line, and then all I'm doing right now is letting my razor do the work. I don't want to make the design too thick. I want to make it not that thick enough that it looks nice. And usually what I do with designs is that I make the line in some parts a lot thicker than others. This is gonna just create a lot more depth, but I don't want to make it too thick, because in my opinion, when you make designs or simple lines that are too thick, they kind of look weird. That's just my opinion. I think that look a lot nicer when they're thinner. They just look more modest, but in a good way. So that's just my personal touch. Remember, at the end of the day, designs are just creativity, so there's no right or wrong. Okay, perfect. So now that I'm happy with the way the design looks, I'm going to apply a little bit of product. This is going to be a dry look product, like a clay or like a dry paste, just to create that nice texture hair. Obviously, you have to actually put texture on the hair of movement if you want to make it look like it has texture. It's not just the product, it's also the scissor work. So also, guys, I want to show you guys how my client looked before. This is the before and this is the after. I think it looks amazing. The fade, the lines, the hair on top, the way it lays, the shape of the overall shape of the hair, I think it looks incredible. And that's it, guys, for this video. Don't forget to subscribe and like it, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.